Hello everyone, this is Stone from Accelerate, and in this video we're going to look into everything about bar charts. And we're going to start from level 1, from beginner level, and we're going to gradually take it to the next level. So guys, it's going to be awesome tutorial, so stay tuned. If you find me for the very first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's just here in the little corner here, so you can stay up to date from all the videos posted by the pleb of Excel, this guy. Okay, bar charts. So let's start off with the beginning. I started a nice new spreadsheet for us. So let's populate some data. So let's say we wanted to track some expenses. So let's say we're tracking the expenses that we incurred in 2021. So I'm just going to put in here in C2 2021 expenses. So we wanted to have it do a breakdown on a monthly level. So let's start off in C3 to say it's in January. And Excel is quite smart enough, so if you just put in C3 January, you can literally just drag this little handle. You'll see I'm going to zoom in. It makes this little nice drop down handle, and we can effectively just drag it down up until we get to December. There we go. So at the end of the day, we've got our expenses here, we've got January here, and let's say in D2 we're going to track our actuals. So what did we actually incurred in January? So let's say, for argument's sake, I'm just going to keep it simple, two digits. So I'm going to say 12, 11, 10, and so forth. Let's go for 10, 5. I'm just populating random data. You can put in your own data here, and we are done. Let's put in 11 there. Alright, so this is our actual data, and now we would like to have it presented in a bar chart, so we can quickly see where's the outliers, and at the end of the day we can quickly see which month did we spend the most and the least, and we can make some insightful decisions next time or the next year come around. So very easy. We're going to highlight up from C2 up until D14. So you highlight the whole data set, you just drag it. So you just click C2, drag it up until D14. And what we're going to do is you're going to insert. So up above here, we're going to insert. And the very first chart option that they give us is a standard. Here we go. Standard bar chart. Yeah, let's go for the clustered column. There we go. Awesome. So there you can see it already populated the name, so it's the actual. So what I would like us to do is we want to dynamically link the title first. So I'm going to zoom out here for us so that we can see what we're doing here. So we're going to click on actual. You just click it like it highlights this blue dots in the corner, and you're going to go to the formula bar and say equals, and we're going to click it to C2. So it should link to C2 there, and if you say enter, that will dynamically put in the title. So whatever changes here, it will be represented in our little bar chart here. So if, for argument's sake, this was 2022's expenses, no need to change it manually, it will dynamically change to 2022. Quite nifty, awesome trick. I'm just going to undo, so we've got 2021 expenses. Alright guys, so at the end of the day we can quickly see, so let's say January was a 15 and we had like a 2 in June. So you can quickly see your outliers. You've got this there in Jan is the top one and the bottom one here in June. And what is also nice, you can see you can add a nice trend line if you want to. You double click on the graph and you put in add a chart element here in the corner, and there should be a little line here that we can enter into as well. There's the trend line, and we want a nice linear. So you can see actually we started off top heavy and we went down a little bit and went up going into December, and the trend line will show there's a slight decrease in it. So it's very nice. So this was a level 1 quick bar chart, and this shows you the actuals. You can quickly see your outliers. Very nice. And this was level 2, quite basic, very interesting. And now we're going to level 2. So what do I mean by level 2? we're going to add in another column for some data for us, and we're going to represent it as well in the bar chart. So what I would like us to do is, what I'm going to do is going to shift over the bar chart that we created, and we're going to put in some, let's say, some budget numbers. So I'm just going to add in a column. So you highlight column D, you right click and you insert a column. So you're going to insert a column. Please note that the data still shows the same. It's very nice. And we're going to go into a budget here. So in D2, I'm going to put in a budget. So what did we actually plan to spend on the month as opposed to what actually happened? So this is going to give us some nice insights into our budgeting process going into the future. So let's say, for argument's sake, we just wanted to come in at a nice 9. So that is what we needed to do. I'm just going to put in another 9 here, and Excel is quite smart again. So if you want to put in a 9 for all those items, you don't have to manually type in the 9. You can literally, the first 9s that you typed in, handlebar, take it down to December, and it will effectively copy over the 9. So let's represent the budget within our file that we've got here, or in the graph that we've got here. So I'm just going to double click and take away the trend line. We want to take away the trend line. So you just go into trend line, you go to none. So it takes away the trend line that we added previously. And what we can do is we're going to select the data, and we're going to add additional fields. So we're going to add, here we go, you can click on add. The series name is D2 budget, so you will see it links to D2, and the series values, you can just take out all the contents here and you replace it to D3 up until D14, and you'll see it plots an additional graph on the right hand side of it. So you can quickly see, oh, we actually budgeted 9 here, but we came in at a 15. So something went wrong in January. I don't think we made it in Jan, maybe too much expenses. But yeah, here we can clearly see which are outliers, but it can get confusing quite quickly. So best practice from my side is the target, or the budget line should also be, that shouldn't be a bar chart per se, but you can put it into a line chart. So let's change it up. We're going to change the chart type here, and what we can do is we can change it to a combo chart here. So you can clearly see Excel is quite smart. It already plots the budget as a line here, but if it didn't, so you can say actuals should be a clustered stack column, and the budget should be a line. So you can just put in a line here, and if you say okay, it will take away those bars that has been on the right hand side, and now you can see where the budget was. So let's say next year comes and we know we're going to spend a little bit more in January. We can change the budget up and say, okay, let's say we should have gotten a 12, and effectively it will go to a 12. And if you take it into this level, you can see it changes the budget effectively. So very interesting. And I'm just going to undo this. And there you go. So that was level 2 for bar charts, and very interesting that we can see the actuals and the line for the budget as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into level 3. So this is where it is going to get quite interesting as well. I hope you stick along with this one. This is going to be awesome. So what we would like to do is, let's say we didn't make budget. So at the end of the day, we went over these, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns that we went over budget. We want to highlight if we went over or under the budget. So let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to shift over our graph here. You can drag your graph wherever you want it. So let's say I'm just going to place it down here just for now. And let's say here in column F, we're going to put in, let's say if we went over the budget, and in G, we're going to say under. So we're going to change it up. So at the end of the day, we can say we're going to move into if formulas. So let's say equals if, open brackets, if the actual is more than sign, more than what the budget was, then you're going to give me, if the value is true, you're going to give me E3. And if the value is false, you're going to just say NA, open bracket, close bracket, and close bracket again. So if you're going to say enter, it should show the 15. So let's say we went under budget here, so let's test the formula. If it went to 8, it's going to show a NA here. That's perfect, that's exactly what we want. And Excel is quite smart. You can drag this formula down and it will show you exactly the 5 months that we went over budget. Okay, so that's perfect for now. We're not going to plot it yet because we still need to plot our under. So let's go for under. Let's say we want to show the under. So equals if, open brackets, if the actual was more less than 9, you're going to show comma, if the value is true, the actual. And if it's false, you're going to show us NA, open bracket, and close bracket once again, the close of the if formula, and you're going to say enter. So it should show a NA because it was over in this month. And you're going to double click and something went wrong here. Oh, so if it was precisely the budget, then we're going to say we didn't go over it, we stayed under. So let's say it's not just a less than sign, it can be also a equal sign. So we can put it in here. So if E3, which is the actual, is less than or equals D3, then you're going to show us E3, otherwise NA. You're going to say enter, and if you double click, it should become, there we go. So you can see all the columns has a number here with a NA corresponding to where it didn't count. So I can confirm, I think my data set is complete here, and now this is where the magic is going to begin. So let's say we want to plot this as well. So we're going to double click on our bar chart that we created already. I'm going to shift it over here so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then we can work from here. Alright, so we're going to double click on it. We're going to select the data. What we're going to do here is in the actuals, we're going to change up the actuals. So we're going to go to edit. So we will edit you click on actuals and then on edit. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the name to over, and the sheet values we're going to take out and effectively let it highlight F3 to F14, and you're going to say okay. See what happens now, it takes away those other bars because it only has these 5 that they can go to. So let's plot the other ones. So we're going to add another value. We're going to go add, the series name is under, and the series values will be from G3 up until G14. We're going to say okay. So but hang on, Stone, this is a line graph. This isn't what I wanted. Quick fix. We're going to click on change chart type here once we're done, and we're going to make sure that that under isn't a line. It should also be a clustered stack here, and we're going to say okay. And how awesome is this? It already shows in which months we did under. So if we track expenses and we're under budget, we did good. So I would like you click just on the one gray bar or whatever color, and we're going to fill it, and we're going to give us a solid fill. And if we did it good, I'm going to go with green. And if we did bad, on the other one, you just click on it, highlight, and we're going to say okay, let's go for an orange. And if you want to change the line, we're going to change the line. Let's go for a nice let's go for a gray, a nice gray color here. Let's go for a dark gray color, and there we go. We effectively changed the bar chart. So let's say in January we actually did good, so actually we went under budget. So let's say we put in an 8 here, you will see changes to a green. And how awesome is this? And now we can show this formula is working. and this bar chart effectively changes as we go along. We made over and under budget, and this is very awesome. And now a little bonus tip for our teachers that's watching the video. So let's say we're not working with finances. Let's say we're working with some test scores. So let's say instead of 2021 expenses, let's say it's 2021 test scores. Interesting. So it will change test scores, and it's not going to be January to December. It's going to be, let's say, test 1 to, let's go for, whatever, test 12. Let's go for tests. So you will see tests being populated here below as well. And now instead of budget, we say pass rate. So at the end of the day, let's say 50% was the pass rate for this test, and so forth. You can just click on it, double click. It looks a little bit funky now, but let's say the actual was whatever was scored by the student. So let's say this student scored 70% on this one, a 60% on the second one, and a 50%. I'm making the percentage signs by putting a shift and a 5 to get the percentages. And now you can just right click. I'm going to copy, I'm just going to paste these ones and right click. So now you can clearly see, but now it needs to be switched over, because if you didn't make the pass rate, then it's bad, and if you did, it's good. So you click on the ones that they did well on. So you double click on the stack or on the graph, click on the bar, and now the fill needs to be reversed. It's green if you're over the pass rate, and if you're down it, then you can say, okay, it's a nice orange there if you didn't make it. Or, well, and you can also highlight from F3 to G14, and you can just say percentage here to go into a percentage here, and it will also automatically change the percentage here as well. What is interesting to note is if you did make 50%, you're actually you passed. And in this formula it shows you didn't pass. So let's change it up. So in over, if you are more than or equals the pass rate, then you should be fine. And you can double click that and it will change it up. But now the under, you have to take out the equal sign. So you take out the equal sign, press enter, and you double click that formula, and now see this student actually made all of their tests. Well, even though it's just on the brink, but let's say for test 6 the student unfortunately got a 40%, it will still show this test they didn't make it. So for the teachers out there, this is also quite nifty visualization of the scores that you get for your students, and tracking some special percentages for them as well. And guys, I really hope you like this tutorial. This is everything bar charts currently, and we went from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, and a little bonus tip for you teachers out there, tracking percentages as well. And I really hope you like this content. Please hit this little subscribe button just here down below, and to stay tuned from the pleb of Excel, this guy. Guys, I'll see you next time.